Hello, everybody. This was supposed to be a live video with me and Lisa, and we've had massive internet connection. So we decided that we were just going to do it, record it, and we'll upload it. So thank you for your patience, people that were here live with us. Technology got in the way. So I'm Amy Wilkinson. Hopefully, you know me already. I'm the coach that works with women in the food industry to help them get the recognition they deserve. I am joined by Lisa today from Speak Proud, who is a public speaking coach, and she works with women in corporate to help them speak up and speak proud. Now, Lisa and I have met through our coaching network, and she's inspired me a lot over the last 6 months to really push forward with helping women to speak proud. Lisa has got oodles of experience because she comes from a creative background, has worked as a actor for many years, does voiceover work, but I'll let you, I'm prattling on, Lisa. Hello.
Hello, everyone, again. Thank you again for your patience.
So tell us, Lisa, how you ended up being a public speaking coach, because you've been an actor, you've been all sorts of things.
Yeah. So I trained as an actor, and I was an actor for like many years, and I still am. But I've also, alongside that, I was always into fitness. And so I've been a group exercise coach since 2006. Mm-hmm. And also I've worked as a role player going into non-profit organizations like Greenpeace and Red Cross and helping their staff with conflict scenarios as an actor / role player. Mm-hmm. So my whole life, pretty much my whole adult life, has been in the public speaking realm in one shape or another. I'm always standing in front of a group of people and speaking. Mm-hmm. So I knew that I wanted to be a coach because I've always been a group exercise coach, and I wanted to take it from the physical self to like the mental self. Mm-hmm. And then I thought, well, actually, as well, with public speaking and being an actor, you know, there's a lot about coaching and acting that's quite complementary to each other. There's a lot of similarities when you're coaching mm-hmm. someone as to when you're acting with someone. So I thought, you know, I love coaching people. Like, I've loved being in the fitness industry. I want to continue it. And mm-hmm. that's how it's kind of transpired. Yeah.
So sort of pulling together all of that that knowledge and experience, that's what I mean, most coaches you speak to, that's kind of what happens is we have all these amazing experiences, and when we want to help, you know, we know the power of coaching, and obviously you've got that from coaching people in the fitness world. Yeah, you know, see, we it's almost like we see that, don't we? You know, like you see it because your body is felt, or you're strong, or whatever. But actually, what we're talking about is mental fitness and having the strength, a different kind of inner strength, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you work predominantly with women in corporate.
Yes.
And help them to speak up. And a lot of people that I work with, and hopefully will be watching this video, are women in corporate. Mm. So tell me, what are the common themes that you see for women in corporate in terms of the whole speaking up and public speaking thing?
Yeah, so I would say the main commonality with the clients that I've coached this year alone is that many females are in great jobs within the corporate realm, and they would call themselves like high achievers, as in they work very diligently, and they, you know, they have visions, they have a plan, like they want to be a director, or they want to be, you know, like a high-end manager. But when it comes to like something as small as a team meeting, perhaps a learning and research day with a team, to a board meeting, this high achiever that's in them, it turns into like an imposter syndrome. And even though they get great results from their managers and their seniors, when it comes to them being in a room with those same people and then having to speak, I say they turn to mush, because these are the words they use with me. You know, it's like, I don't want to speak. I'm just going to let somebody else speak. I have an opinion, but you know what? Let somebody else say it. And then if they do speak, they feel that they're talking too fast. They sort of trip over their words. They stammer. They feel their face going bright red. You know, they're picking with their hands. You know, the body language is just screaming like, I don't want to be here. And it infuriates them, because they're like, I don't know why this happens, because I know I'm good at my job. So why do I feel inferior when I have to hear my voice? And their voice goes, it can go quite small. It can go, quite timid, quite tight in the throat. So I work with them to unwire that, and it's really, we're talking about confidence, because speaking in front of people, you're not talking to yourself, you are talking to people, and you want them to think that what you're saying is worthy. And, so there is that natural air of like the adrenaline kicking in and feeling like, oh, God, I hope I don't say something stupid. We all feel like that when we speak. Everybody feels it. But
and totally. And I often find that people think that it's only them that has that feeling. And actually, because I always often put back to the, what do you think that other person is in the room is feeling? Well, I think they're absolutely fine. I'm like, do you know that? Do you know what's going on in their head?
Exactly.
And there's definitely something about that, isn't there? And do you feel like, because obviously, I work in the food industry, and when we've chatted about this before, you were talking about it's similar in the creative industry in that there's a lot of, it's male dominated in the decision making roles. I think is what I'm trying to get to, because I'm like, it's not necessarily that there's an overall disparity, but it's those leadership roles where there tends to be a disparity. So is there something about being the only female voice in the room and stuff like that? Like, what was your past experience of that, and how do you help people with that now?
So even though I'm not from the corporate world at all, there are very, very clear similarities. I was a young female actor, and I left drama school thinking, I'm great, as in I work hard and I love it, so I'm going to do well. Like there was just no doubt about it. And I didn't realize it at the time because I was too young. But when I look back now, the decision makers were male. They were mainly male directors. It's very powerful in a room when the director is male and you're a young female. Producers putting out the money, agents who have the authority of like what job you're going to get next and are they going to put you up, casting directors male, so heavily male. And also even roles, all the good roles mainly were men, right? So I was very diligent in the work, but then when it came to afterwards, which was to go to networking events, stay in the bar afterwards, have a drink or not, sing my own praises, go to press nights. We were told I went to one press night because I felt like too small. I felt like I just wanted to do the work and get more work from it. And I didn't, because people forget, right? Oh, she was great. And then it's like on to the next play or the next show.
Oh God, this is resonating so much, because this is what I get frustrated. I'm frustrated myself because it happened to me. But I get frustrated for all the women I work with that are like, I just want to get my head down and get the job done. And it's like, we all do, but it's not the way the world works, unfortunately.
No, you have
not in those sorts of environments where I saw something the other day that was like, have the confidence of a mediocre middle-aged white man. Like we as women often don't have that. We're not as confident as at being visible as just comes naturally to people, men, basically.
But that comes back. We have to look as women. That doesn't just come from being put into a job. That comes back from our childhood, like particularly in my generation. You do your work, be seen and not heard. If you become like, I'm great when you're a kid, it's like, no, you're too precocious. Be quiet, but be good. Then
don't be bossy.
You don't be bossy. Exactly. Then I went to secondary school, all girls. Suddenly all the boys were taken away. I mean, why?
That happened to me. I went to a girls' school as well. And it's
a 7-year period of like no young men. And then you go back into university, where I went to drama school, and suddenly I'm with guys. But I've had that 7-year gap. It's like, and then when I went into drama school, we weren't taught. We were told to network and stuff, but it's already been sort of cemented from childhood of just do the work, don't praise, just do the work, it'll come your way. And I'm here to say it really, really doesn't. And then there was also this other part of like, if a woman was kind of like, braggy and sang her own, other women, including myself, would be like, well, you know,
who does she think she is?
Who does she think she is? She would like, she'll cut your throat to get where she wants to be. Absolute nonsense. Of course she wasn't.
No.
You know, so we need to get rid of.
Well, there are some of those people around, but
there are. But there's nothing wrong with being confident, and if you've done well in something, making sure that people know about it. There's nothing wrong with that. That condition has to be broken.
Absolutely. Do you know what? I've got a new mug that's like it's a suffragette one. I wish I'd brought it into the office today, because I'd be like, yes.
Yeah.
I've got my suffragette colours on. Yeah. So there's women. Basically, I want to get to the tips. I want to get to the, you know, you're going into a meeting or you know, you're going into, I'm hesitating because I can't remember what we said on the recording that didn't work on this one, but I'm just thinking about, because we were talking about the fear, that feeling of fear as you go in, and sweaty palms, and oh my God, what are they going to think of me? I have no right to be here. What tips have you got for women that are feeling that and thinking, God, yes, when they listen to this, what can they do?
Yeah. So so if you know that you have a meeting coming up, say, it depends on the level of it. If you've got a presentation coming up and you're absolutely bricking it, or if you've got a meeting coming up in a couple of weeks and you're thinking you've got to present something, now is the time to start to find moments in the day, in the week, within your job where you feel that discomfort, but with less people. So it could be, you know, you've been avoiding speaking to a colleague about something that could create that fear in you. You know, it could be something like low level conflict. It could be somebody that you don't really click with, that you try to avoid. You need to take those smaller, more low key moments on in your days and weeks, so that when you go into a meeting where you're then speaking to maybe like 5+ people, or even maybe 3, and if they are all men, that you've become accustomed to that feeling of discomfort. Because it is discomforting, but the more you practice it, the more you'll find the courage, you know. So I'd say find smaller opportunities in the week to practice speaking. Because if you're speaking to more than one person, 2 people, that's public speaking, right? 2 people listening. So use those.
So I think that as well. A lot of people think, oh, I can't do public speaking. It's like, well, if you ever speak in a group, you are doing public speaking. But what you're talking about really is getting comfortable with feeling uncomfortable and not expecting that of yourself, because everybody feels a bit wobbly going into things. Because there's also, because that feeling of fear and excitement are very similar, aren't they? It's like that. Well, for me, I don't know if it's the same for you, but it's like the feeling in your tummy. It's like I would get that if I was excited. So you've got to kind of channel it. Channel the adrenaline in a positive way rather than a fear-based way.
Fear and excitement are physiologically exactly the same emotion in your body. They're exactly the same. So when you're excited and you have the butterflies, that's the same as the fear. So, but fear can feel more than excitement, because it's about learning to manage it, to calm it down. And then, so what I always say is, you know, when you find these more smaller opportunities in your week, and then you're about to go and speak to that person and you feel the fear, then you just need to put on like a big smile, like not in front of them, but before you go up to them and say, I am more than able to do this. I'm actually excited to talk to this person, because the end result will be I will have achieved doing the thing that I set out to do, which is to embrace this slight discomfort. And on top of that, finding like a positive sentence, something that you can be saying to yourself throughout the week. It really, really does make a difference. If you say something like, I know what I want, I am up for this, I'm more than capable, I can do this. And, you know, finding quiet moments in the lavatory at work, on the way to work in your car, keep saying it throughout the day. Honestly, put it on a notepad and just stick them around, because it's about retraining the mind to go from fear to excitement. So it doesn't just happen, but the more you become self-aware of the fact that fear and excitement are exactly the same, then you will be able to embrace those moments where the adrenaline rises up and you can breathe through it, smile and be like, no, I've got this. This isn't fear. This is actually excitement, because I'm about to do something that can push me forward and take me to where I want to be.
Yeah, because that's the thing, isn't it? It's, you can't sit, if you do want to propel forward, you can't sit in that comfort zone.
No.
And and I think a lot of people are like, I just want to be able to get comfortable doing this, and it does get easier, doesn't it? It gets easier over time. I remember talking to you like just before I did that big thing at Asda, and I was
yeah.
But do you know what? I was absolutely fine because I'd used different techniques and stuff like that, and had a bit of coaching beforehand. But I just believed it was going to go well, and it went well. And I find that people are like, oh, you're so confident. It's like, no, I still have those same feelings, but they do get easier. And it's almost like you notice them, but you choose not to go down that rabbit hole of, because I still do sometimes get really blotchy around here.
Me too. 100%.
And there's nothing you can do about it. Like, you have to accept that it's part of who you are if that happens.
I asked a doctor last year. I had some rosacea on my cheeks, and I said to her at the same time, I said, I get this redness, like, can you help me? She said to me, have you watched Prince William and Prince Harry when they give speeches, Lisa? She said, they go bright red from the neck up. She goes, it is not, the only thing she said that could stop it is beta blockers, and you really don't want to take beta blockers. But all I'm saying is, if the royals go red, then you just use that as like your guide, as your guiding star, that like everybody goes red, particularly corporation people. It's okay. It's just a flush. It's just a flush of the adrenaline going into our face. It doesn't mean to say we're embarrassed or it's shameful or we don't want to be there. I don't care anymore. I'm just like, you know what? Hopefully what I'm saying is more important than what color my face is.
Yeah. And do you know what? I was thinking back to what you said about little girls being seen and not heard. And actually, we are often more concerned about our appearance than we should be, because we've been conditioned. And therefore, it's like, oh my God, I've gone red. Oh my God, everybody's going to think this of me. Spiral. And actually just taking a deep breath, or whatever it is that you need to anchor yourself back in that moment, remembering what you've got to say is important, is the thing, isn't it?
Yeah. They're not going to walk away thinking about your red face. They're going to walk away thinking about what message you delivered. Having your presence, your authority, and your vision. That's what people, and the feeling you left them with. That's what your team will walk away thinking, okay. And the last thing I want to say is, which I think is really, really important, is that if you stay quiet and you don't speak up, you will be judged in exactly the same way as if you do speak up. You'll be judged for being, she's nice, not much personality, she's okay, she's a people pleaser, she doesn't really have much to say. So, there will be judgment there.
She's not leadership material, when actually you've got everything you need inside you. You've got all this knowledge. So bloody speak up. So basically what you're saying is, you're sitting there, the women we both work with are sitting there thinking, if I say that, I might get judged. And what you're saying is, by saying nothing, you are equally being judged. So you may as well bloody say it.
Exactly. Because when I heard that, I just thought, that is so true. Because we all judge without meaning to. Of course we do. We can't help it. It doesn't mean to say we judge maliciously, but we will form an opinion. If you don't want to use the word judge, we'll form an opinion of the person, and an opinion will be formed.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Lisa, this has been absolutely great. I'm sorry we had the tech issues. Hopefully this will all have recorded fine, and I will get this uploaded everywhere so that people can watch it. If people want to get in touch with you, well, how can people work with you? You work with people one-to-one and stuff like that?
Yeah, I work with people one-to-one. I'm based in North London, so I can either do face-to-face, we can arrange that, or online. So like this on Zoom, and my sessions run between 60 to 90 minutes. I generally offer packages of 3 sessions or 6 sessions. It's really dependent on the individual, or longer if you need to, but I wouldn't do anything less than 3 sessions, because you know, with coaching, with trying to unblock this imposter syndrome, we do need a few sessions to really sort of get going. And yeah, one-to-one at the moment, and I absolutely love it. So you can find me on LinkedIn. My full name is Lisa Sheerin. That's not like Ed, A-N, it's Sheerin. So it's S-H-W.
Do you know what? I didn't say your name at the start because I was worried I was going to get it wrong.
Yeah, no, not like the singer, Sheerin, so I-N on the end, and then Speak Proud. So you'll easily find me on LinkedIn through that.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Lisa. And I know people have been in touch with you because I know loads of people that could do with your help. So thank you.